Can you feel the love tonight? We're trying. I'm not sure we're feeling it, but we went in with good intentions to Mufasa, The Lion King. This is Barry Jenkins' prequel to Jon Favreau's live action Lion King. It's all product. It's all IP. It's all Disney. So come hang out with us. This is a big, big release coming out for families this weekend. We're heading into the holidays, and this is the kind of thing that you might want to go see with the kids. So check out our review and come hang out with us. Alonso, what happens here?
Two brothers who set off on a dangerous journey to find a new home and a new family.
So yeah, if you ran out to see Transformers 1 because you really wanted to know how things fell apart between Optimus Prime and Megatron, here's where you get to find out how things fell apart between Mufasa and Scar. We open with young Mufasa with two loving parents, but it's a Disney movie. We can't have that.
Nope.
And it's a Lion King movie, so we have to separate him from them traumatically to scorch an entire generation of filmgoers. Anyway, little Mufasa gets washed off in a flood, winds up far, far from home, and is taken in by Taka, who is the prince of his own area. And even though the king is like, outsiders, we should eat them, he is instead raised by Taka's kind mother, Eshe, who's voiced by Thandiwe Newton. Eventually, some bad white lions ruled by Mads Mikkelsen come around to make trouble. The king sends Taka and Mufasa off to sort of save the royal bloodline. And as they try to make their way to a magical place called Malele, they meet a motley crew of other folks, including a lion princess and a chatty bird and a very wise baboon. It's a prequel, so you know where this is going. Literally. Is this better than it has any right to be? Sure. First of all, as much as the Disney, I love that you call them live action. These are so CG, these movies, these animated ones anyway. As much as it's become a bit of a tiresome thing, this one at least is sort of a new story. I mean, it is a prequel, so even if it's covering familiar ground, it's not just a rehash of something we've seen done in a more appropriate medium. Barry Jenkins is one of our great living filmmakers, and so should he be spending 2 years of his life on a Disney prequel?
At least?
More? I'm glad he's getting paid. Get that studio money, Barry Jenkins. Mm-hmm. But where is his Babylon? Where is his big dream project, deep-pocketed thing that might or might not work, that every other director of his stature gets at least one of at some point? I feel a little bit cheated here.
Well, maybe it was the Underground Railroad.
I guess, but I mean, that was TV and it was Amazon and I don't know.
But it was incredible. It was
no.
Giant and ambitious and extraordinarily well made.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's his thing.
No shade on the Underground Railroad. Yeah. I'm just wondering why movie studios aren't lining up to deep pocket this guy the way they have for many of his peers. That said, this movie's fine. The animals are better rendered than they were in Kraven the Hunter, the CG is really good on the animal movement. The faces are expressive. They aren't dead-eyed. There's some real sort of acting going on here. I don't know if it's mocap or animated or whatever, but that's all put together really well. It's mostly structured as a flashback. So you've got Rafiki talking to Simba's son? Daughter.
Blue
okay.
Ivy.
I know she's voiced by Blue Ivy, but a lot of times, they'll get women to voice little boys. I don't know.
The name is Kiara.
Kiara. Okay, fine. We'll say daughter then. Is hearing this story. Timon and Pumbaa show up for way too many Disney inside meta references. Slow your roll, y'all.
It's not that cute.
It's not that cute. Not blaming, Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner. They didn't write this thing, but Jeff Nathanson, you could have cut those in half easily. So yeah, it's fine. Kids will dig it and be freaked out by the early separation from the parents. Mm-hmm. Parents won't be bored out of their minds. But, this is at the end of the day still a movie that doesn't really need to exist except as something to appease the stockholders. But it's one of the better versions of that we were going to get, I guess.
But it bums me out that we're saying it's fine about a movie made by Barry Jenkins, who is a true artist.
Sure.
And when I heard he was making this movie, my first thought was, okay, are we going to even see any of his artistic stamp here, his autorial stamp here? Because
Right.
he's got a very specific aesthetic
Yeah.
and a mood and the kind of story he likes to tell. He's got his usual cinematographer, James Laxton here, his usual editor, Joy McMillan's here. Like, it's people he's brought along the way. And I
Yeah.
thought, how can he take this incredibly talented team and apply it to the machinery? And I don't know that we see the Barry Jenkins in here at all, the way like we saw, like when Chloe Zhao got to do Eternals,
Sure.
right? That looks like a Chloe Zhao film, and it feels like one in terms of its pacing. And I feel like really a lot of filmmakers with, you know, the wherewithal and the craft and the time and the ambition to make a giant film like this could do this. I don't know that I saw what his particular aesthetic brings to this.
Yeah,
it
the machine.
bummed me out.
The machine wins for sure. I think if you know, he loves to talk about like Wong Kar-wai and Claire Denis.
Right.
And if he was trying to work like how do I make this movie look like White Materials, like that got taken out very early, unfortunately.
I was thinking about that this morning while I was getting ready to come and see you. I'm like, this is a person whose two biggest influences are Wong Kar-wai and Claire Denis, and now he's making this giant piece of Disney IP prequel. And again, maybe that helps him to then go and make the things he really wants to make, which are bold and challenging. I don't know.
But like usually if you've made a movie that's won Best Picture, you don't have to then prove yourself again in that arena. Like
the one for them.
Yeah, they should be lining up to be like, give us something prestigious, And so, yeah, it feels like a missed opportunity on their part, not his. I think he went in with all good intentions and hired, like you said, like crew folks. There's cast members in here that were in from Underground Railroad.
Aaron Pierre, Tuso Mbedu, Sheila Atim.
Exactly. But in any way that this could have had like some kind of Barry Jenkins stamp on it, the powers that be determined we're not here for that. We just want to make a movie that is going to, do the kind of numbers that The Lion King did. And so this is what we get.
Speaking of numbers, we got to talk about the music because Lin-Manuel Miranda did these songs.
Yes.
Instead of doing the Moana sequel.
Right. He'd already committed to this.
Right. Moana 2, I think, suffered from him not continuing on as the songwriter there.
Yeah.
But these songs here, like, there's a couple that stand out. But nothing, and I guess nothing can compare to like what Elton John did with the original Lion King music. I mean, that was so specific to that animated world, and like those were radio hits. It was a different time too, but like nothing. I guess the song in the snow that Mufasa and Sarabe are singing to each other, I thought was the most effective of all of them as far as being a piece of storytelling within the music, and also the song is transporting.
Yeah, like Mikkelsen gets a good villain song, which I thought was, pretty memorable. And like the I Always Wanted a Brother song at the beginning,
that's
like
fun.
It's bouncy, it's fun. But and who knows, like time will tell, because sometimes these things don't grab you on the first listen. But I got to say, on the first listen, there is I did not leave the theater humming anything, and so maybe they'll grow on me. I don't know, but they don't pop out the way a lot of the best. There's no Let It Go here. Let's just say
right. No, for sure. No, I thought, this was very beautiful at times, and even quite suspenseful at times in terms of the chases and the hunts and what's happening and who is after who and what pit do they fall into?
Sure,
what
right.
Mountainside do they collapse off of? Like the flood is very stressful. So here and there are moments of genuine drama and suspense, and there are some beautiful use of like lighting, like the sunlight through the grass. But again, like how much of that is a human being with a camera, and how much of that is just all done on the computer? Like, who knows? I don't know where the line is.
Yeah, they credit like there was some shooting in like Tanzania and stuff, but like who knows if that just became like sort of source material to then get turned into ones and zeros. Like it's a mystery. And I guess the fact that we can't tell is a good thing, and that it's a testament to the sort of invisible hand of what's going on here. There is one unintentional laugh out loud moment involving the creation of the famous rock that, Rafiki stands on the edge of and holds up baby Simba.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, really? Nobody thought maybe we could take this from another angle or something, but I'll let y'all discover it for yourself.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think people who are super Lion King fans
Mhm.
are probably going to enjoy seeing Zazu for the first time, or seeing
sure.
where that rock comes from, or
Yes.
seeing where Rafiki like gets his walking stick from.
You get the origin of a stick in this movie. You know,
Woo,
it's like,
like,
who gave Han Solo his vest? You know,
Right. I don't care about these things, but I think maybe people who love this stuff will be excited to see it.
sure.
Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. If you need something for the whole family to go see,
Yeah.
and maybe you can't all go see Baby Girl or A Complete Unknown or The Brutalist. If The Brutalist is too long for the little ones who don't care
Yes, they
about
might get a little
architecture.
antsy in hour 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then what is your number then?
I gave it a 7. Like, this is a perfectly competent film, which is not what you want to say about a Barry Jenkins movie, but here we are.
Yeah. I forgot to mention also, I think that the flashback structure is enormously distracting, and it really yanks the tone around.
Yeah, they
'Cause
jump back and forth a lot.
Serious stuff happens, and then it's like back to Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner like cracking wise and breaking the fourth wall and all that. And that felt to me, and that's in the script. Right.
Yeah.
We can't blame
yeah.
editing for that.
No.
That's the way the script is structured, but there's too much of it.
Yeah.
And it's like there's two totally different movies going on here.
I like they were worried that somehow the backstory was going to be too grim, and that like every so often they'd have to like come out and hoot-de-doo for the kids, because there is no Timon and Pumbaa equivalent in the Mufasa story, and they felt like they needed Timon and Pumbaa to sort of, you know, lighten the mood. I don't know.
There's Zazu.
Yes, again, these are like cowardly corporate choices that were probably not Barry Jenkins's choices.
Yeah. All right. My number is going to be a 5. I'm
Okay.
right down the middle on this.
Yeah.
It looks fine. It's pretty at times. It's dramatic at times. It just feels like a waste of a true artist. So Mufasa's out there this weekend. Are you going to see it? Let us know.